I'm here with yarn expert Clara Parks, and we're talking about the world of wool beyond merino. Hi, Clara.
Hi, Uni.
So tell me, this feels very different from what you're used to in a yarn store.
Absolutely. The thing about wool that a lot of people don't know is that for many, many years there were two camps. There was the fine wool camp, that would be merino, and then there was the long wool camp. And the Spanish Empire controlled the fine wool camp, and the British Empire controlled the long wool camp. And for reasons that are like way too long to discuss here and put everybody to sleep, for some reason the fine wool camp won out. And the long wool camp fell slightly out of favor, I would say, partly because of aesthetics, partly it had to do with geopolitical changes.
And when we say fine and long, are we talking about are they different breeds of sheep, or are they?
Yeah, long wools, they originated in England, and they have longer, literally longer fiber.
Okay.
With bigger open curls, and then fine wool is really the diameter. It's a finer, softer fiber.
Okay, so eventually merino won out, or fine wools won out.
Yeah, fine wools won out, and long wools still, for hand knitters, fortunately, we still have a lot of long wool sheep out there, a lot of flocks in the United States, in the United Kingdom, all around the world. And one of the older breeds is the Romney sheep, and now that originated probably 13th century in the marshy areas of Kent and Sussex in England. And the cool thing about Romney is that not only does it have a long wool, I'd say a long staple, we like long staple wool because it wears better.
And staple refers to just the length of the hair.
Yeah, just
right?
like if you took a lock from the sheep and just clipped it.
Okay.
So the longer the fiber, the less twist you need to hold it together. It's going to wear really, really well. But the cool thing about long wools, and especially Romney, what we're looking at right here, is that instead of, with fine wools, they have almost microscopic little zigzags. They call that crimp. It's a natural curl pattern. And in Romney, they have more loop-de-loop-de-loop.
Like a wave.
Like a wave. And so this type of yarn construction, when you have two plies, it's like a barber pole, gives you fantastic, springy, stretchy, three-dimensional garter stitch, where the purl ridges really stick out. And then in stockinette stitch, the thing to know about this type of yarn is it's going to give you a slightly irregular look. You know how sometimes you look at stockinette and it looks like, you know, completely machine knit, perfect and regular. This type of yarn, no matter how perfect you are, it's still going to have a little bit of that wobble to it.
Just sort of an organic, handmade kind of feel to it.
Totally, I love it. I think of it as like a cobblestone sort of a ricey thing, but in ribbing you get this beautiful effect. Seed stitch, moss stitch, it can be utterly gorgeous.
Anything with texture to it.
Yeah.
And it feels, you know, I mean, the conventional wisdom that I've always gotten is that long wools feel rough. But this does not, to me. Yeah,
part of that has to do with the age of the animal, and part of that has to do with the breed in particular. I prefer to call it crunchy. For me, it's the comparison between a nice white bread and a really hearty rye. You know, it has more crunch and more character to it. It does not mean that it's a Brillo pad by any means. It's just, it has more presence to it.
So what would you use this long wools for?
You know, it really depends on your comfort level with that type of fiber. Now, I would be totally fine making a sweater out of this. I would love it. And really, whenever you wear sweaters, you usually have something on underneath, so the prickle is not going to be that great. So sweaters, hats, mittens.
Anything with just really thick, hardy texture that you want to wear well.
Yes.
So fabulous. Well, this is a whole new world of wool for me. Thanks so much, Clara.